Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. And today's Monday. Today I'm doing the, greatest horror classics. Now I just want to go ahead and mention I missed pretty much everything I usually do last week. I'm just going to say I wasn't home. So I just didn't do anything, and that's why. But this week I want to make it all up. I want to make all that up I didn't do last week this week, i.e., like with this, since I didn't do it last week, I'm probably going to do it again tomorrow. So I'm going to do it that way. That way, next week it'll all be already caught up. Same thing with my Adult Swim on Thursday night / Friday morning, pretty much Friday morning. I'm just going to do it all like Thursday, Friday. So right before the new one comes up, I'll probably have like all those other ones done. But anyways, again, I also want to mention, since this is the first video out and it's the beginning of the month, I want to do something special this month since it is the season of the pumpkin, and I do like to do a lot of horror films, as you know, and love watching them. So I like doing them. So I want to do something special this month. I'm going to try to put out a movie review of a horror movie every work day this week. So every weekday this week. So yeah, I think we'll have a lot of fun. I'm not going to do. Like I said, I'm just going to be doing this, again, just once a week. I have all these other horror movies I'm going to be doing. Much newer, up to date, and everything. I think it'll be a lot more fun. But anyway, let's get this started so I can get it finished. This movie is called It's Never Too Late to Mend. 1937, black and white. This movie was only 67 minutes long. Not too bad. This actor in it, Todd, T-O-D, just one D, Todd Slaughter. Love that name. I don't know if it's a pen name. Might not be. But anyways, that's just an awesome Todd Slaughter. Also, Marjorie Taylor. It's like two names. I can't remember. Don't know why. That sounds familiar, but it does. Marjorie Taylor. Anyways, Todd Slaughter, Marjorie Taylor. Quick synopsis. An evil squire in this town. Where is this? England? Yeah, Victorian era England. An evil squire, prison administrator cruelly abuses his powers, the inmates at the prison, until one day the tables are turned. Okay? So, International Movie Database gave this a 5.9, and Rotten Tomatoes didn't even have it rated yet, with the audience rating of like 20%. Again, this is like 1937 black and white. A lot of these movies I've noticed that you can actually find in color now. And they just put the cheap black and white versions out because of this. It's just easier. So let's just start this off. Beginning of the movie, it's on Sunday, end of church, and everyone's walking out of church because it's the end of the sermon and everything, and everyone's walking. It shows everybody, the squire, prison administrator, squire. He's there. He's meet and greeting everybody that he knows. Outside the steps of the church, Squire talks to a farmer, Merton, and his daughter, Susan Merton, which he is infatuated with and wants to be with, but she loves someone else, another farmer named George Fielding. So there's a love dynamic here, and that's what it's all about. That's what this movie's about. There's no horror about this movie. Again, I don't know why they put movies like this inside of a collection called Greatest Horror Classics, but it is what it is, and I'm doing the movie because it's here. I'm glad it's just, hope we get these movies that aren't horror out of the way. I should say that at the very beginning. It's not a horror film. It's hard to say what this film is. I think I'll try to explain. I might have something for it by the end of this review. So Squire wants to find a way to separate them two so he can get Susan. One evening, the police stop by Squire's home and inform him that someone has been poaching on his land, and they don't know who it was. They couldn't really see, but the tracks went to a certain area, and Squire coerces the officers to just put down it was George Fielding. So he's able to just pretty much pay him off to write down it was George. So the police, with the Squire, head to George Fielding's house, and they're going to arrest him. But George's friend, who has just come back into town, his name's Tom. There was a scene where it's pretty much, hey, you remember that time you saved my life a year ago? There was that part of the scene earlier on, but right now, his friend overhears Tom, George's friend, overhears that, they got him for poaching, but he hasn't been. So, Tom Robinson is his name. He overhears this, and he happily takes the blame for poaching, takes the rap for poaching. He's like, yep, it was me. You know what? That's what it was. It was me. So, there he goes that. And, Tom goes to jail. He goes to prison. And George heads to Australia for a year for a job. Basically, he wants to have, George, that is, the farmer, he wants to have Susan's hand in marriage, but her father won't say yes unless he has, 1,000 pounds in the bank. Again, 1,000 pounds is England, so that's what it is. And he doesn't have that money, but while his friend Tom was in town, he mentioned, hey, you go to Australia, I got this big job, you could do this over there, and then you can come back here in just a couple of years or something. I don't know how he's able to keep this job while Tom's in jail, but I don't even know how he got the job in the first place if, Tom only offered it when he was around. Anyways, too confusing. It doesn't even matter. Anyways, he's only off what was suspected to be 2 or 3 years, but it turns out to be 1 year. Tom says he'll write Susan, and later on he was okay, a few months from now I'll write you, and the Squire tries to intercept the letters. Squire Meadows is his name. Squire John Meadows. He goes to the local prison and looks around what's happening with his with his kids, he calls them, that need to be all of his kids need to be a little bit disciplined. And still, it shows his evil that knows no bounds. Basically, he just keeps he's uncaring and he's torturous among the inmates. There's it shows Tom, and it shows what he did, him being evil to Tom. And there's this kid who's 15 years old that was in there because he stole a loaf of bread for his sick mother that was dying, and now, since he's in prison, she's dead. And it shows his uncaring about it. So he puts, let me see, he tells them to go, this is what they do. So there's a crank in the prison that people just they just crank. There's they have to do 1,800 cranks. I don't know why they do this, if not just it's part of the prison term. If there's a reason the power or something needs to work, or I don't know. But that's their duties as prison inmates. They have to turn the crank. Turn the crank. And he puts the kid on to do it, and he puts Tom on to do it, and everybody. So he checks in on them. The Squire checks in how they're cranking. And basically the kid passes out. He can't handle it. And Tom does more than he's supposed to, but he's dead tired. And they say he's going to do even more tomorrow, twice as much. He puts the 15-year-old in, the Squire that is, he puts a 15-year-old in what he calls a jacket or a straitjacket. And basically what it is, he just straps up the kid against the wall, straight up, this against the wall. Or whatever, just arms down, that's all he is. Just standing up in a jacket. But if the jacket's just nailed or screwed into the wall where he can't move. So that's what the jacket is. So let me see. The Squire and officers, let me see, okay. So the Squire again, he's checking up on the inmates with a prison chaplain. And that's basically the Squire is showing the chaplain around the prison. And while this is happening, Tom finds that one of the guards left a key in his jail cell, and he gets out, and Tom sees the kid strapped in his jacket. He lets the kid out, and the officers come back and find the escapee Tom in the kid's cell. Oh, and the kid's almost dead. So they're about to torture him or something, and Tom Tom Rant of Christianity pretty much brings in the prison chaplain real quick, who's like heard like his rant rave of Christian, like, where's your Christianity at? And here comes the prison chaplain. Now that pretty much saves, trying to like pretty much save the kid is what the chaplain's there. Oh shoot, sorry. So the chaplain was able to pretty much, hopefully trying just to save the kid, even though they took Tom away to the, the black box or whatever, just like the holding cell is just nothing but black. You don't see anything. I forgot what it's called. It's the black room. But the kid, everyone leaves, but the kid is in the chaplain's arms, and the kid dies in his arms. Very melodramatic moment here. Very melodrama. Very much. Pretty much, yeah, like I said, kid dies in his arms. Very. The funny thing about this, okay, this little scene, the chaplain says, "Poor little Maddie." His name's Matthew Joseph. Poor little Maddie. And Matthew Joseph says, "Not poor now, sir, because my sentence has been reduced. I'm free." And dies in his arms. That was hilarious to watch. That was just downright funny just to see that. Anyway, after that, the chaplain goes to see how Tom is doing in the black room, because he was sitting there for like 24 hours straight. And he pretty much comforts Tom while he's in this room. So, there we go. Now, outside the prison, Squire intercepts the letters from George to Susan saying how he struck gold in Australia and he's coming back immediately. And this puts Squire in like a speeded up mode. He starts to spread a rumor around town saying how George has already married someone in Australia, basically, and trying to get Susan to marry him, which he does. He finally gets that to happen with the help of coercing Susan's father, too. Now, Tom gets out of prison. He's been there for like a year. Tom gets out of prison and is first greeted by the prison chaplain, and then he goes to an inn for a drink, for a pint, and is unwanted there because he is a fresh jailbird. Jailbird reference. Alright, so now it is the day before the wedding. George arrives in town. Let me see. And Tom is there to greet him and lets him know on all the misgivings that is happening and what's going on with the Squire, asking for Susan's hand in marriage and what's going on. Squire notices them inside of this inn, this bar, and waits for the moment for them to leave, and then spikes their drinks with a sleeping potion. I don't know why he just didn't just kill them. Not like anyone would have found out. Tom, they come back, and Tom and George drink their drinks, but Tom notices Squire peeking from a doorway from another room and just like pours it down his shirt instead. I don't know why. Again, why does he do that when he could pour it on the floor? I don't know. So George passes out and Tom fake passes out to see Squire come out of the room and steal George's 7,000 pounds he had in his jacket. So Tom sees this. He sees this and follows the Squire back to his home to see Squire give his butler the 7,000 pounds. Just, because, he was going to burn the money, and the butler was like, "Oh my God, please give me the money." Now, here starts the culmination of the whole movie. Culmination. Day of the wedding. Squire, Susan, and Susan's dad's all talking in the living room, in this room in the house. I do believe this is Susan and their dad's house. Susan is in her wedding dress. Squire doesn't look like he has a tux on. Why is this the day of the wedding? And Susan is like about to marry this guy. That's bad luck. I don't know if it meant to be like that or if they just weren't thinking about it. Anyways, it's like, or if they just trying to show, hey, today's the wedding when she needs to be in the wedding dress. Screw the fact that they can't see each other and he's not even in a tux. Anyways, George barges in, saying that he's back. He's back and he wants Susan's hand in marriage, but he can't explain why she never got any letters. He never got any letters, even though she wrote. And he can't explain why he can't find his 7,000 pounds. So now, after that, Squire, like, does his, best way to, like, explain, like, okay, this guy's obviously a nobody. But then in pops Tom with Squire's butler and evidence against the Squire. Basically has the 7,000 pounds and has the butler screaming what's happened. He didn't steal it. It was Squire who stole it. This drives the Squire nuts, mad, raving mad, real quick. Pulls out a pistol and he's like, I only have one shot in this. But every gun, it's really funny when you said that because it just is when you think about it. Because back then every pistol was a one shot. And it's just like, okay, you have 5 people in this room, and he has like one shot. It's just funny to think about it. It's like, are you really think you're going to get away with murdering anybody? But he stops from shooting anyone thanks to the prison chaplain who just happened to be by here. Or like, was he the reverend who was going to like be at the wedding? Don't know. Anyways. That's that. Sir, like, he stopped from shooting anybody thanks to the prison chaplain who came by. He was like, you can't do this. Speaks a little bit, like, has a few choice words, and then says, it's never too late to mend. Bazinga. Now, I love it when they say the name of the movie title in the movie. It's like, I wonder what part of the movie are they going to get it from, and that's where it was. He's like, it's never too late to mend. He's going crazy. He's like, and get like hauled out. He's just getting like hauled out, so, by the other officers. Now, very last scene, shows a mustacheless. This guy had a sweetest mustache this whole film. Todd Slaughter. Sweetest mustache. And it's like a little curl, like right here. Straight up awesome. Now, it shows a mustacheless Squire turning the crank in prison. Now he's like mustacheless. And now he just like repeated the saying, it's never too late to mend. But that's about it. So that was pretty cool. Again, nothing horror about this. Drama? I'm guessing? I mean, yeah, of course it's a drama. That's it. Why would they put this in here? I don't know. But anyways, that's what it is. Oh, can't forget to grab bag time. What's going to be happening? What's the next movie? What's the next movie going to be? Remember, this was 1937. It's never too late to mend. That's what this one was, black and white. Let's grab one in here. Sure, it's just one. Okay. With a name like this, definitely has to be a horror. It should be. It's when 1942, so at least it won't be a silent. Alright. Well, I guess I'll probably just be tomorrow or something then. So I guess I'll just see you guys tomorrow with nothing else. Nothing else. Some movie or something. We'll see. But again, thank you guys for watching. You guys have a great day. Thank you for your time. And yeah, I can't say thanks enough. Alright, bye.